What is going on, 49er fans? Hope everybody's having a fantastic Tuesday. It's kind of a somber day today, so we're not going to screw around too much with clever intros. Um, if everybody, if anybody has social media, then you know the news that came today with the passing of Charvarius Ward's 1-year-old daughter. She died Monday. They announced it, I don't know, a couple hours ago. So it kind of has got its rounds on social media, and it's funny. I'm very critical of players, and I kind of get pissed off at them and all this other stuff. And as soon as I saw that, I felt I had tweeted something and included him in it, and felt like a complete ass. So I personally want to send my condolences to the family and to the 49ers organization. And Bashar, I would assume you want to say something as well.
Yeah, it was literally the first thing I saw when I woke up this morning. When I woke up this morning, it's the first thing I saw on my phone. So it was pretty crazy and sad. And, I'm at a loss for words and speechless. I just, hopefully everybody sends their prayers out to his family for that. I don't know. I don't even know what the daughter had. I'm assuming the daughter was struggling with something because I heard from a friend that Charvarius Ward was mentioning this on a podcast before about something that his daughter was possibly going through or something like that. So it's just terrible. It sucks, man. A 1-year-old. I mean, for any parent to lose their child is always a tragedy, regardless of age. I
Yeah,
mean, when my brother passed away at age 39, my mom and dad, especially my mom, they went through a really really tough time. They still are, and even though it's been over 10 years, I mean, I can only imagine how could it be for a 1-year-old. It's terrible. It sucks. I really really hate this. And now it explains like a lot of people were complaining about Charvarius Ward during the season. He actually had one of his better games this past game, in my opinion. But a lot of people said that he wasn't himself at points of times this season, and this must explain it because it sounds like his daughter was going through something. It's just so sad. It's horrible.
you wonder if the 49ers are going to give him a leave of absence. A lot of people,
Yeah.
people who don't have a heart say, well, sometimes the best place is to be on the field. I
No.
don't know about you. You've lost your brother. I lost my dad. The last place I wanted to be was at work. Some people work with tragedy. I can't. When my dad died, all I wanted to do is be around family and speak of his memory and try to be, try to, just be around people and remember him. I didn't. The last thing I wanted to do is go and make money at work. So
Yeah, when that happened, I only had 1 week off of work. I was pretty pissed off, to be honest with you. I thought 1 week was definitely not enough, but I had no choice. I had to get back in the office, and it sucked.
I missed a month.
You're lucky you got to miss a month.
Well, I had vacation time, so they
Oh,
gave
okay,
me some
okay.
bereavement, and then the rest of it I took on my own. Just wasn't ready to be around people. You know, there's a certain coworker that gave me the ride to the hospital when it happened, and if I would have saw her, I would have just, So, and then I actually took a leave of absence again from work after it happened because of my mental health. So, um, it's man, I'm so fired up. I get so fired up watching football, and I want to go off on players and say things. I never really go personal. I never like attack people personally, but then something like this happens, and you realize it's just a game, and it doesn't all really matter. So, football is just a job. It's there for our enjoyment. So, yeah, rest in peace to his family. Totally. It kind of erased whatever excitement or good feelings we were kind of having about the Niners going into the bye week with the 4-4 record, 500 with a chance to control their own destiny. So I know nobody in the NFL, let alone YouTube, watches my channel on live stream. So, but if you do, I just want to offer my prayers and condolences to the Ward family. Um, I don't know. Can you hear me?
I hear
Oh,
you.
you're
I'm here.
okay. Um, so we're gonna kind of turn it into football now. I don't want to piss anybody off by kind of transitioning into it, but had a couple days to kind of digest what we saw on Sunday night, and my feelings really haven't changed too much, Bash. That I think the 49ers really haven't fixed anything. They beat the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys have been pretty bad this year. So I still don't know what to make of the 49ers. I still got a lot of questions and reserve judgment for a lot of things. And that game didn't really do much to take that away. If anything, it made me ask more questions. Especially when you hear some of the press conferences after the game and you hear the same kind of like, same repeated, almost like robotic speeches about how we got to get better and we got to do this and we got to do that. And it hasn't happened in, 8 weeks. So what was your takeaway?
I'm picturing you yelling and screaming and cussing at the TV and throwing things around the house
Oh,
when
I
the
was.
score got closer.
I was.
Well, why don't you set up a live stream camera? Just show yourself yelling
Just
and
see me
screaming and
meltdown.
cussing.
I can tell you right now, it ain't fake.
You're probably getting more views than what we're getting right now.
I know, definitely, absolutely.
Yeah. I still knew we were gonna win. I'm just pretty arrogant when it comes to those things. I'm like, oh, whatever, they're gonna win. Screw it. It may look ugly at the end, but who cares? Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Now, obviously, we're 4-4, right? We are who we are, who our record says we are. And
yeah, that's right.
A lot of ways those games could have changed. It wasn't like we were getting blown out, and a lot of those mistakes were our mistakes, but they are what they are, and we got to live with it at the end of the day, and we got to find a way to get better. But hey, I mean, what was it? I got the I'm looking at the player grades, and certain guys they had really nice standout games. Nothing was perfect. In general, I thought Brock Purdy played himself a really, really nice game. Now, were there lapses where he was making me scratch my head? Yes, of course. He's been doing that a lot this season. He did it less this time around, which is good to see. I believe he's like second in the league right now in rushing first downs for quarterbacks. If not, he's first.
Which is crazy because nobody in this fan base thought, when I think of Brock Purdy, I think of a mobile quarterback. Like, you look at him and he just doesn't give you that sense of like athlete running, but his size and his quickness is actually very deceptive on some of the angles he takes on some of those scrambles,
Oh yeah. I mean, last year he showed a good amount of mobility. He just wasn't doing it as much. Definitely in the playoffs, in the Detroit Lions playoff game, he was showing. I wish he showed it more in the Super Bowl because they ran a lot of man on us. And when defensive backs, when they run man, the DBs had their backs turned on the quarterback pretty much. So it kind of, if there's nothing there. One thing about Brock, when it does come to his scrambling, more so than his passing as of late, he does make excellent decisions. His timing, his decision making is really, really good. And for the most part, as a 49er quarterback, his decision making in general has been excellent. There's just this year a few lapses here and there, which he could probably take back when he goes back to the film room. Happened a few times in this Cowboy game as well, but his player grade was 70, not super super high, but decent. He was one of the 5 highest graded players on offense for the Niners in this Cowboy game. After that was Deebo Samuel, Kyle Juszczyk. Jake Brendel was actually the highest rated offensive lineman in this past game. So there you go. Even though Jake Brendel always gets ripped on.
Yeah, and I'm not a big Jake Brendel guy. Told you that game, the other game against the Chiefs, when he made that penalty, man, I was like, they showed his big fat ass head on screen, and I was just cursing at him. I'm like, get off my television.
Well, you cursed out Bosa, man. You flip the screen off when you see Bosa.
Oh, I flip on Bosa too. Dude, I don't care. Nobody's above reproach on this team. Even Brock Purdy, I was like, screaming, like, what are you doing? That pass on 4th down where it was so far behind Deebo. I got pissed at Deebo first on that play, and I'm like, bum, you suck. And then you see the play, and it's like it's a couple feet behind him, and I'm like,
yeah.
What's happening to this guy?
When I first saw it hit Deebo's hands, I was like, oh, okay, I guess Deebo could have caught that, but then you could look back, okay, it was behind too. Yeah, I mean, what was that play where Purdy was in the pocket and he tried to do a pump fake or something, and the ball completely fell out of his hand?
That really got me.
Bro, what are you doing? And then the other questionable one was, it was a 3rd and 1. Well, we ran on 2nd one before that, and we got stopped. So we called this ridiculous rollout play. And I think if they were trying to do is roll Brock out to get him to run or do a short pass. And I don't know who the receiver was, but the receiver on the right-hand side of the field was pretty blanketed. So I get it why Brock didn't throw it there. I don't know who else he could have thrown to. But the way Brock hesitated and the way Brock was doing things on that rollout, it led to something that almost, I believe he tried to throw the ball and it fluttered and it was almost an interception. It could have been a pick 6.
I wanted to move off of Brock for 1 second because of what happened with Anthony Richardson, right? Now, he's not a good quarterback, right? He didn't have a lot of reps coming into the NFL, kind of like Trey Lance. And a lot of people were adamant that Trey Lance was something, and that if you just force it, it's going to happen. He's going to get better. and they're going to win. And then you see what's going on with the Colts when he plays and how poor he plays. And it makes you realize that a lot of these people that are calling for this could never be a GM, because I saw a tweet about it, and it said that, it might have been Shasky or Bonte Hill, but it said, like, you live in an age of win now. There's just no way. And it just makes me realize, even with his struggles this year and kind of his regression a little bit with Brock, just how fortunate we got, and a lot of people disagree, and a lot of people are already giving up on him and saying that the Niners need to, we talked about this last week, like they need to just, drown this whole thing and start over and get a new quarterback and trade pieces away and reboot and all that stuff. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Like,
that's so stupid.
The regression was going to happen. Even Kyle said it in his press conference that just like, he had a record-setting season last year. And that happens with the NFL. Sometimes you have down seasons. Sometimes you have regression. The best go through it. Montana had issues sometimes playing, really good football in the regular season. He turned it in the playoffs a lot of times. But I know that's like really convoluted and all over the place, but it makes you realize how lucky we got.
Oh, we got very lucky. I'm a big Brock supporter. He definitely won over a lot of 49er fans, even after we traded up half of our franchise for Trey Lance.
Right.
Interesting. Did you see that one? I know there was some picture going around that was like, the 49ers players and coaches after the game on the field, they were all giving Trey Lance's handshakes and hugs, and which is good. I like that because, a lot of people threw out the speculation that like the 49ers organization and the coaches and the players, and they were so mean to Trey Lance, and they threw out all these different theories on how and why they were so mean, how bad they mistreated Trey Lance. At the end of the day, this is a business. I'm sorry. Like, this business is predicated on wins and losses. And if you have somebody obviously better in front of the other guy, that guy's going to be the starter. And, I don't care if he was supposed to be second or third string. It is what it is. He's third string on the Cowboys now. So he demanded a trade. He's still third string. So I don't know what the hang up is.
And he was so frustrated when they said that Brock was going to be the starting quarterback, and he wanted to get traded, right? And they traded him to Dallas. And now he's essentially a clipboard holder who's probably never going to see the field in Dallas because Cooper Rush is miles better than he is. It's just amazing. Like, when I see it, like, we know people in our own fan base and people who like to make divisive content who just, even last year, and anytime Brock Purdy struggled, like the Browns game and that 3-game losing streak last year, of how we're, if Brock was here, it happens every time. It's happened this year with the Niners, struggling and not being very good, and Brock being up and down. It's just amazing. Like, what is this really about in the end? Like, if you're a 49ers fan and the kid's doing really good, Brock Purdy, and he's winning games, what else besides trying to be divisive or trying to stir other things up that I'm not going to mention here are you really doing when it comes to that?
Yeah, I don't participate in those type of things. I go off of what I see on the field.
Yep.
And I, obviously, at the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters. He had a much better game, 18 for 26, 260 yards. Threw a nice touchdown to Kittle, which was really nice to see him get the ball to Kittle in the red zone. Remember how much we struggled in the red zone? We also ran it in with Isaac Guerrero in the red zone. We could talk about Guerrero later if you want.
Yeah.
But,
there was a callback touchdown. Remember too.
The game that had me, not the game, but the play that had me up in arms. The way you get the way you get up in arms was that touchdown to Debo. Forgot exactly how I looked because I didn't see it on the replays. I didn't necessarily rewatch the whole game, but I was just heated whenever we get a big play, huge big touchdown like that. If they recall it back, it's just the most annoying thing as a football fan. And it was a really nice throw by Brock from what I recall. I'm kind of forgetting exactly how it looked.
Almost had the look of like a wheel route, the way it kind of was like ran up the sideline. We tend to throw those and quarterbacks miss them all the time, but it was, that being called back for a penalty. Yes, I was screaming at the television. I was screaming at Debo all night because I thought Debo was checked out on another planet. Personally,
he did, but Debo did get that one wheel route where he lined up in the backfield though, and he burnt Kendricks. That was a nice one, and he broke a couple of tackles.
Kyle, I don't know what it is with Kyle, man. The amount of times that they tried, I feel like we're the only team in the NFL that can't throw a screen pass. I don't know if
you read my mind. I was talking to my friend earlier.
What is the matter with everybody else? Does it? like
No,
without even
because
blinking.
you know why we suck at it? Because Purdy takes a snap and right away throws. It's like the most obvious. It's not even set up like a screen pass, where a screen pass has a delay. All the other teams do it. And they kind of fool our D linemen and
Yeah.
they fool whoever because there's like a little delay where the quarterback drops back and looks a little normal, and then he throws it. For us, it's like Purdy takes a snap right away. Boom. That's not a screen pass if you're just rushing it. You're not
No.
setting up the blockers. You're not doing anything. So I don't know if it's Purdy's fault. I don't know if it's Shanahan's fault for saying that this is how we time our screen passes. At the end of the day, whoever's fault is, they got to fix this big time because it's not working. And that's how you slow down a pass rush. Either you got a good running game or you got some good checkdowns or screen passes. Now, all those checkdowns, obviously, a lot of them will be fixed if CMC comes back, and he's supposed to be coming back soon.
Now, JD, are you talking about Brock needing to learn how to throw, or are you referring to another quarterback that's no longer here? I would love.
I don't know who he's talking about.
If it's Trey Lance, then I would agree with you. He still struggles with that really important thing that quarterbacks have to do. You know, kind of that throwing thing. You know, that thing that quarterbacks do all the time, like a 99% of the time. So yeah, if you're okay, thank you very much, JD. I appreciate that.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I think
isn't he a Chiefs fan? That guy?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No, you don't know this guy? Okay, I thought you knew him.
No, I know JD. He's been here multiple times.
Okay.
I was just sometimes, I'm not sure. Sometimes people are very facetious in the comments, so it's hard for me to pick up.
I remember I thought you said you knew somebody that's a Chiefs fan, though.
He was, but I'm probably I banned a couple people from my chat who are Chiefs fan because they'd like to stir the pot, not because they're
one
Chiefs
of the gamers.
Fans,
I thought it was one of the gamers you knew was a Chiefs fan.
Yeah, I probably won't welcome him in my chats anymore, just of other stuff that's gone on in real life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's kind of a bad egg. So, you know me, Red Jet is here. Thank you very much. My girlfriend is here too, if she's still in the chat. Hello. Jupiter. Red Jet, thank you for coming through. I haven't seen you in a while. I know you are a busy woman and you were in multiple chats supporting everybody. So thank you for popping in, even if it's for a little bit. For anybody who wasn't here, we did touch on the unfortunate passing of Javarius Ward's daughter at only 1 year old. It is really tragic. I told Bash that, do you think he takes a leave of absence? Maybe he, I would be totally fine with it if I was as a fan. And I don't know. I feel like football, when you have a child, when you lose a child, like it happened. Remember when he had Marquise Goodwin and he lost his child? It's the same thing. If you want to step away from the field, then be my guest. I wouldn't even blink twice. I mean, they have the bye week. It's going to be 2 weeks, but still, I mean, losing a child at 1 year old is a big time tragedy, and football doesn't really matter in that sense, So.
Oh yeah, definitely. My memories has me wrong, I guess, on this one. I could be right, but I could have sworn there was a player from either last season or the year before that was a 49er that lost his child as well. And it's slipping my mind. I know Marquise Goodwin was a few years back, but
yeah,
it was in recent years we had somebody else that lost a child, and I can't recall who it was.
I don't remember.
Somebody in the chat can refresh my memory. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Good to see everyone. Thank you very much. Hello, Matthew. I'm not sure I've seen you in here before, but if you have been here before, thank you for coming back. Appreciate it. And thank you very much. Appreciate that.
I want to talk about Isaac Guerrero because I thought he
let's talk about the rookies. Let's talk about all the rookies.
About all the rookies. Okay, cool. Because with Guerrero, Guerrero, I know you were hesitant about him in the beginning.
Yes.
And my excitement about him was that we never draft a height, weight, speed guy. And a lot of people were hesitant about it in general. I'm not saying you, but in general, the other Niner fans, where, oh, well, Kyle can't draft running back. Oh, my God, we drafted running back in the 4th round. Those running backs drafted in the 3rd or 4th round never pan out for Kyle. What's Kyle doing? Oh, we got to burn Kyle at the stake and we got to fire him tomorrow. I mean, it's like all this panicking for nothing that's even taken place. It's so annoying. I hate it in our fan base, but just like, the draft pick, just let him step on the field. Let us see what he can do. So it's the first time in a long time we drafted a height, weight, speed type running back. This guy's 225, ran like a 4.35 40, which is crazy. And I was like, okay, let's see what we can do with this guy. And early on in the preseason, it wasn't a run in terms of the offense, but it was like a kickoff return. And he broke that one big time. I was like, damn, this guy can really move. Like all that speed, it does translate to the games. And I was thinking, okay, well maybe he's more of like a home run threat. And then earlier in this season, right, he had a big run, but then again, a lot of people were saying he didn't have instincts and he didn't know how to read.
I
the
didn't think he was
holes.
too shifty. I thought he was kind of a run
North and
straight
south,
ahead
north and south
running
guy.
back, which is fine if you can hit the hole quickly. But yeah, go ahead.
But he was hitting the hole hard against the Cowboys. He was a lot more shifty than we seen him. He just looked more natural, and maybe Bobby Turner teaching him things, or I don't know, or maybe just him being more comfortable. But a lot of it's looking really good, and he already has hands. I mean, he was a former wide receiver at one point in college. So we can use him in the backfield. He did catch a pass for, I believe, for like 10 yards, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think sky's the limit for this guy. He looks like he'd be really good. I love Jordan Mason too, but he's not the same coming back for that hurt shoulder. So we're gonna see how that plays out. Pretty soon we might get CMC, but in general, all three of those guys look like they have talent. They look dangerous, in my opinion.
You wonder how much is the scheme, and it's Bobby Turner, who's like Yoda. He's an old man, but he loves coaching running backs. How much is the talent, and just how much is just the Niners are really good at what they do as far as, run scheme? I don't know. I don't know what it is, Bash. All I know is that he's starting to grow on me and become even more favorite than Mason. He almost avoids he avoids contact in a sense, whereas Mason kind of loved to absorb it. I don't know if you've noticed that. He doesn't really fight for extra yardage and abuse his body. And like I said, he doesn't have a ton of like lateral moves, but he does make a quick jolt. He's quick to the hole, kind of like Raheem Mostert, but with a bigger body, like you said.
Yeah, definitely. I like what I see in Guerrero so far. Sky's the limit for him. The other rookie we can touch on, Renardo Green, had himself a nice game. 91.3 rating, 45 snaps. The only blunder he had that was really, really bad though, where he ran into Jair Brown on that. CeeDee Lamb was wide open like crazy on 2 touchdowns. That one where those two guys collided was just ridiculous, and it should have never happened. Fortunately, mistakes happen. But other than that play, Renardo Green had a nice game.
Bernardo Green's actually hurt his ankle, so he's day to day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got the bye week, so.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I hope he comes back. Man, that game, they were trying to give it away at the end, bro. They were trying to. I was getting mad. Like, I actually relaxed in this game. They were up 17 points. 17. And they still almost lost. I don't know what to do anymore. Like, how do I feel when I watch games? I don't know. Another player that's playing really, really well, and if you get props from a guy like Trent Williams, then you're doing really good, is Dominic Puni, my Italian brother from another mother.
On the block.
Dominic Puni. Hey, Puni.
God. What you said? You thought he's Italian?
He has to be. Hey, Puni? You kidding me?
He's part Samoan. Somebody
is
told
he?
me.
He looks at oh my gosh.
Like yeah.
Oh, that's
like Samoan or something.
He's got to be a Baba to be, man. He's got to be
Italian. Well, you could be Italian if you wanted to be, I guess.
Hey, I'm half Irish and half Sicilian. Nobody would guess it.
There you go. And I don't. At this point, he could just be whoever he wants, man. He's been playing really nice.
You're Iraqi and you're
pale, I know,
and you're a redhead too. So looks are deceiving, right?
I know exactly. Yeah, I mean, Puni's excellent for a rookie. I love the fact he's basically our first round draft pick. If you think about it, where he's basically playing like a first round draft pick, and our first round draft pick finally got to play, which we'll talk about later. But Puni, I mean, early in the preseason, we knew we had something good with him.
Yep.
Spencer Burford obviously got hurt, but even if Burford was healthy, Puni beats him out. Let's be real here. It wasn't like Burford was a world beater at the position. It was kind of funny. Chris Collinsworth during the broadcast said Spencer Burfict, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're this like, you're probably getting paid millions of dollars sitting behind the microphone. And you're saying Spencer Burfict, and the ironic thing is, I think he was confused because there was Vontaze Burfict that used to play for the Bengals. And then another thing to that is the last name Burfict. My high school quarterback was a Burfict as well, and he was actually Vontaze Burfict's first cousin. So little knowledge right there. But
interesting.
Collinsworth, you got to get the names right. If it's a name like Sam Oquan, you know, I just call him Sam O.
I just call him 91.
I say 91 Sam O. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, during the game, I was texting my friends on that one drive in the third quarter. I was like, watch. I bet you Sam O gets a sack on this drive. And boom,
Yeah.
he got one. He had a nice one tackle, one sack though. But he barely played. But he had a lot of pressures.
Miners, it's so weird sometimes, man. You draft a guy like Robert Beal, and he's been nothing short of a disappointment. Same with Drake Jackson. And then there's this guy, number 91. and
he looks the part too.
And he looks like a real pass rushing defensive end. So, and he's got a good number too. He's got Armstead's old number.
They're actually running him in the inside as well. When they did get the sack, they had him running on. They had him lined up on the inside. Leonard Floyd was on the outside with Bosa. Bosa was.
I agree with that. I know this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I think Brady sucks.
You think he sucks as an announcer, really?
Yes, he doesn't offer anything. He's by the book. Olsen is Olsen is one of the options you can use in Madden. You have three options. You have Kate Scott, who used to be here in the Bay Area, or in your Bay Area where you are.
I remember her.
Yeah. She's on Madden with Brock Hurd. Bad.
I remember him. I remember him. He was a.
Then they have the normal people, and then they have the other one with Olsen, and it feels like a real game when he's talking. The way he articulates his vernacular and his cadence, the way he speaks.
Using big words there.
Yeah, I try. I like using him around my brother sometimes. He's like, "What does that mean? I don't understand." Let me think. So we've talked offensive line. We've talked.
There's still rookies that we got to talk about, right?
Yeah. So how Pearsall. I want to save the best for last, but we could go right to Pearsall.
Yeah,
the man who was at one point, not knowing if he was going to play this year. He was shot in the chest. Made his debut last week against the Chiefs. Nobody really played well in that game. He did okay, but he had couple receptions for like 39, 40 yards, and then he had that big kind of misdirection run, end around, whatever you want to call it. Very Debo-esque play. He looks good, man.
Yeah, he looks a little taller than I thought he'd be. Not that he was listed as being really short, but when I see Cowing out there, I was just and I kept seeing that Pearsall was kind of an undersized guy, so to speak, not the biggest wide receiver. I just expected him to look a little shorter, but looks a bit taller out there than I thought he'd be. And he ran a pretty decent 40, a 4.4 flat 40 actually. So I expected him to be somewhat speedy out there, and he definitely showed. In all his catches leading for the Chiefs game, even in the Cowboys game, he never really had room to run. They were more like move the chains type catches, which were cool. I mean, nothing's exciting about those plays. He had 4 catches in this Cowboy game, but once we finally ran another wide receiver other than Deebo Samuel on a jet sweep, the excitement was back. I was like, okay, cool, there you go. We do it one time and bust 38 yards on left side. That's awesome, man. We could have done this with Cowing multiple times before Pearsall showed up, and we all know Cowing has the speed as well. So it's nice to see the younger players get acclimated. I do want to see more Cowing. I hear he might be a little bit in the doghouse, supposedly. I don't know. That's what the rumor might be floating around. It might be fake. But that's definitely a nice rookie to have. We got Pooney, who's a second rounder playing like a first rounder. Hopefully Pearsall can end up playing like a first rounder. I'm not going to get too high with my expectations of him because of all that happened to him and all the time he missed. But it was looking good. And we mentioned Renardo Green. Mentioned Garendo. There might be a rookie that we're missing, but I know Tatum
Mustafa.
Malik Mustafa. There you go.
Malik Mustafa. I like to call him Mustafa because it sounds like Lion King.
Yeah. I know everybody says that. He's looking good, man. Minus that one play against the Chiefs. In general, he's looking really nice.
That game, man, I didn't blame him one bit at that. I mean, he's a missile. He's taking everybody out in one shot in that game, and then we suck against the Chiefs, man. It doesn't matter who it is. You could have a defense full of freaking, I don't know, Patrick Willis is back there, and we'll find a way to screw that one up.
I gotta step away for 1 second. Give me a second, all right?
All right. Tatum Bethune. I haven't seen much of Tatum Bethune, to be honest with you guys. I think he's more of a special teams guy right now, but yeah, the jury's still out on him with the injury to D. Winters, though. He might have a chance to get some playing time. Because I much rather see him in the lineup than anybody else. As we wait for Bashar to return, Bye. You said bye November. You know it's about to be a November. You mean October, correct? Just checking. I'm not trying to pick on you. Just checking. As we wait, I want to talk about injuries with Bashar when he comes back. Got a couple lists here that I want to pop up on screen and ask him his opinion on both of them. Let's see if and when he returns. Mustafa. I know I said his name wrong. I know. It's Malik Mustafa, and I'm seeing Malik. So sue me. Yes, if you can, please, 49ers throwback. I appreciate it, man. You're always here supporting the stream. If you can, please hit that like button. It makes a big, big difference to the few of you that are actually in here who support me and the rest of the people that I have on a regular basis. I appreciate it. It means a lot. So, and we wait. You said he's on the. Very funny. He might have had to drop a deuce. I hope not. That would be a really weird time to take one right in the middle of the stream. But if you got to go, you got to go. Happy Halloween early to those that celebrate. Yeah, I don't really do much on Halloween for a multitude of reasons. Mainly, my dad passed away October 31st, 2013. So that is a holiday that I don't observe anyways because of religious reasons. And then, factor in my dad's passing away. And yeah, good luck with that. And we lost Bashar. So let's figure out what's going to happen on this one, guys, as we wait for him. I might have to center screen myself here. Here we go. Let's see here. Rest in peace. Yeah. Let me center screen myself. Let me get an overlay. That's just me. 1 second here. I know. For the few of you that are in here, you're going to take off on me. I understand. I don't have a singular person overlay. I only have ones that are for two people. So I'll take this off. And you can look at my lame ass room in the background, guys. As you can see, I used to have the beautiful basement and do all the stuff up downstairs in the basement, but unfortunately, it just wasn't conducive to doing it on a day-to-day basis because of how many times I had to bring stuff up and downstairs. So one of the things I wanted to touch on with Bashar that I'll talk about is some of the injuries here. God bless my back. Oh, because I'm leaning forward. Yeah. Oh, Bashar's on his way back here. Hold on a second. Okay. There we go. Hello.
Yo. Well, I tried to come back the first time, but then my mic wasn't working. I don't know why.
Let's see the cat.
You come back than I thought it would.
Bella's back there. She's not a big performer on command, so you guys are out of luck.
What were we talking about? We were talking about the Malik.
We were talking about Malik Mustafa, and I was going to transition, but you're back into some of the injuries. I want to add
something really quick.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, because I thought it was one of the better games for the safeties in general. I know we were talking about rookies, but Jair Brown, second-year player, did have an 86.4 grade in that past game, 62 snaps. Had himself a nice interception off of a deep throw off of Dak. And him and Malik are looking really, really nice together. And we might get Talanoa Hufanga back, so that will be interesting as well. So,
somebody in the comments earlier made a comment about someone in the comments made a comment about the hell was that we actually have two good safeties, and he even brought up Talanoa Hufanga. The thing about Hufanga is he's been really banged up this year, and him and Jair Brown to me are very similar in play styles and the way they do things. They're both very much box safeties. I feel like all the safeties are very much box safeties. I miss big time, and I know you do too, is his name is escaping me. Oh my Tyshawn Gibson.
Tyshawn Gibson, there you go.
Tyshawn Gibson. He was like a run-of-the-mill, like veteran safety, but he was a center fielder through and through as far as like deep safety.
We got him on a cheap too, and we got him on
the super cheap. I was kind of hoping Adrian Amos was going to be similar to that, but it doesn't look like that's the case. I just picked up on when you said God has my back, brother, as referring to me being by myself during the stream. So I appreciate it very much.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know. It
Amos
was
should be
weird because
better than Odom or Mahoney. Who's
I
Mahoney?
literally stepped up to plug my laptop in because it was dying. I totally forgot I didn't have it plugged in, and then had to step away for something else really quick. Then I came back and my microphone was off, so I had to restart my browser completely because everything wasn't working. And then it finally got it to work again. But
I
back to the
got rid of all
safety.
my singular overlays, so when you laughed, I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I don't know why you did that though. Because you had to be with by yourself. I get it. Yeah, they brought up Adrian Amos, and they were saying, Larry Kruger and others were saying, oh wow, he's really really good in coverage, but we haven't activated him, we haven't used him, so that's up in the air. I would much rather have Malik Mustafa as a free safety more so than George Odom. Not that I think George Odom's terrible, but I'd rather just have him on special teams, and
He
that's
is
that.
terrible.
Yeah,
He's terrible in
yeah.
coverage. He's absolutely.
I think Mustafa out of all the quote unquote box safeties we do have, I do think he'd be the more, even though he's the youngest of the bunch. I just think he's a little bit more suited. He's got some nice athleticism. Has nice what's the word? He's pretty shifty. He's agile. But he seems a bit more agile than the other two safeties that we
He
got.
plays with some poop in his pants, man. He's got some baggage back there.
He's a heavy hitter too, man. Minus that stupid Mahomes play.
Minus the
everything-
Mahomes getting run over, dude. He was laying waste to people in that Chiefs game.
But in that post game, right? The announcers were coming up to him, or the reporters were like, "Oh man, you were really good for the majority of the game," and he just kept going back to that bad play. And I do like that because it tells me that he's got a lot of work. He knows that he has a lot of work to do, and he's not going to be complacent.
They somebody in the comments before you disappeared for a bit said that they brought up Tatum Bethune. I haven't really seen much of him other than special teams.
Yeah.
So I said I know with the D Winter injury, you wonder if he's going to get an opportunity. Anything better than 59, but he actually played relatively well in the last game. So I mean, I can complain, but I won't complain too much. There's still 8 games.
D Winters had a really high grade actually. He did better than I thought he did.
Yeah,
he did better than I thought he did. 85.85 rating. That's pretty high. The third highest rating on the entire defense. He was actually rated higher than Lenore was, and rated higher than Fred Warner. I didn't know he did that well. I didn't really notice it so much. Sometimes you miss things when you watch games. I almost forgot about the concussion too. I was going to ask.
I miss a lot of stuff when I watch games. I don't pay attention of like nuances of like guys moving in and up and around the line of scrimmage and doing this and man-to-man coverage versus zone. I'm so locked into like, are we going to screw up and make a play?
I'll have my moments where I notice things on a strategic type level, and I'll be like, okay, they're doing this, they're doing that. We got to do this, we got to do that. Or we're doing this, or we did this on that play. And there's other times where I'm zoned in, like, come on, just do something, just do something. Like I'll be a fan and I'll be an analyst, kind of mixed in between, so to speak.
Yeah, I don't pretend to be anything more than just a fake YouTuber fan guy.
But for the most part, I'm a fan. Yeah,
right. We got enough people out there who think that they're. They think we got to have 20 people go to training camp and report the same shit, like about the same players. Like, oh, I went there and I sat next to this guy and I sat next to this guy and I sat next to this. Like, how many training camp reports do we need? Especially if you're all in the same clique. You're sitting next to each other, right? Do you have to have 6 channels going simultaneously about the same crap? No. Give me 1 or 2. Give me Sterling Bennett. Give me Raj, Barrows, Mayoka. I'm good. That's all I care about. I really don't care about anybody else. Injuries, man. Injuries. I got a list here of some of the injuries, and then I got a list here of possible injury returns. I think the first one is the returns, or is it the return? Oh no, these were the injuries from the last game. You got Jordan Mason with a shoulder, reevaluated next week. Debo, what else is new? He's hurt. Big surprise. I have nothing. Debo pisses me off, man. I don't know, man. He would be really reevaluated, whatever. They make all this thing about him playing and returning all the time, and then he can't even make it through like a quarter or two. Chris Conley did not see that injury. That sucks. D Winters, of course, we know about, and regarding Renardo Green, I brought up before. And then key injuries to return after the bye to pay attention to. Of course, Chris McCaffrey on track. Juwan Jennings looks like he's going to make his return after the bye. That's huge.
Yay.
And Dre Greenlaw could return to practice sometime down the line. The
Oh, that'd
Juwan
be nice.
Jennings one is important because a lot of people, including me and you, are like, "Oh, the Niners need to make a move at the deadline. Maybe they should go get a wide receiver, Deontay Johnson." But he got
He's
picked
somewhere.
up, I
Got
think,
plucked.
by the Baltimore Ravens, so that's not happening. Um, anything about either of those lists that got you either concerned or excited?
Concerned or excited? Now Conley had himself a pretty bad game. Not that I don't like the guy, but which sucks is I wouldn't necessarily want to see him out and then see Ronnie Bell get more run. I was hoping that we could have, I keep mentioning this guy, Terrace Marshall. He's not even on the team anymore. But when
You are in love with him, man, and a
yeah,
football
dude,
sense, of
if
course.
you watch him, watch his highlight film and watch Ronnie Bell's highlight film and tell me who you like better. Is all I got to say. Yeah, so I mean, it may mean that Ronnie Bell might get some run if Conley's out. Conley didn't even have a good game this past game. Actually, his blocking was bad. So Conley looked good in the Super Bowl, but we'll see what goes on with him now that Jennings is coming back. That's nice. Now I want Jennings to be the same guy that he was early in the season, right before he got hurt. If so, we may not skip a beat at wide receiver. So we'll see how that goes. McCaffrey might come back pretty soon, which is really, really nice. Greenlaw was the one that I was like, I was thinking back in my head, like if we could just get Greenlaw, get the team right to make a playoff run, get Greenlaw ready during November, perhaps, or even CMC ready in November. I was thinking they'll both maybe ready as November. I don't know what Greenlaw is going to be when he comes back in terms of full speed or not. If he's going to look like the
Bro,
same guy, but the
he
attitude
blew
that
his
he brings.
Achilles out in February, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's going to be back when? December? Maybe?
They said November.
Do you
But
really,
we'll see.
unless I would say, and this is ridiculous, and this is just me being negative. I mean, if we make it
Negativity.
back to Captain Negativity, I should put a big N on my shirt.
Wear a t-shirt.
I could get a tattoo, but no one wants to see my naked chest. So what were we talking about? I forgot. Oh, Greenlaw. I say if we make the Super Bowl, bring him back. But other than that, I mean, let the guy rest this year. I don't see any advantage of bringing him back with an Achilles injury.
Like a playoff
that
run,
happened.
though, in a playoff run, if we get to the playoffs and he's looking nice in practice, I'll definitely go for that.
I don't know,
you need
man.
that attitude on the field.
I know.
Man.
I agree because I don't think I love Fred Warner, but he doesn't have that. I need someone who's a little bit mentally unhinged. I should know something about that.
I mean, it's either that or Devondre Campbell.
Or Devondre Campbell. It's funny that I brought up Fred Warner. This clip, he said this after the game this past Sunday night, and I told him to STFU on Twitter, like, just go and do it. I am so sick of hearing this about the 49ers defensive breakdown at the end of the game and just overall this season. I'm sick of hearing this particular thing.
What?
This.
I think it's after the bye, it's 0-0. We're at 500 right now. I think we're a game back from being first in the division, whatever that means. But we have everything ahead of us. We can be whoever we want. We have everybody that we need. In terms of players, obviously we're banged up, but we'll get healthy after the week. Hopefully get some guys back. And it's about just getting better at this point. We can't keep getting up for a game and then dropping one and then let's try and figure out a way to win another one. Like, let's just get better, right? Let's just get better. That's why those little errors at the end of the game were so frustrating because the good teams, they don't make those. We got to find ways to just play 4 quarters of just straight execution.
Was the video skipping for you? Because it kept doing it for me. You hear me?
No, I heard you.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't skipping for me. It was working just fine.
Oh, yeah. It kept you're going like this, and the video just kept stopping and stopping. So I could only catch.
Was it doing it every time I did this?
Well, I don't know why, but it just kept doing it, and I couldn't catch everything that he was saying. So
he was saying at the end of the game, they got to clean up the breakdowns. The good teams know how to execute for 4 quarters. Yada 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 yada. He's been saying the same thing since week 1.
Okay.
I'm over it. I don't care. Just go and fix it. Like, nobody wants to hear that. Like, when everybody's all happy at the end of the game, like, we got a dub city. I'm thinking it's the scrub ass Cowboys, bro. Why are you so happy? You barely beat them and you were up 17 points. I hate it. I'm such a negative person when it comes to that stuff. Like, getting overly excited, beating a team that's probably going to finish with a losing record this year. I don't know. Just keep doing it. Come out of the bye week, play better. You're going against a team in the Bucks that are down their top 2 receivers. Their defense isn't that good. Seattle, you get them after. They're not very good right now. You should beat them. Who else? We have the Buffalo Bills are mixed in there, and the Green Bay Packers. I heard that their quarterback got hurt the other day. So I mean, we gotta put up or shut up, man. I think the next 4 weeks, the Niners could technically go 4-0. So we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, getting McCaffrey and getting Juwan Jennings back will be huge, assuming we get those 2 guys back. That's going to be a lot of fun to seeing Juwan Jennings back, and I expect Purdy's game to look a lot nicer once Jennings comes back too. So we'll definitely see. And obviously, Purdy will look better having CMC back. You know, CMC brought so much to the team in the passing game, the running game, you name it, in the red zone.
What do you think that with things being the way they are now, with Brandon Ayuk being out and Debo hurt again, think George Kittle becomes more of a focus in the passing game?
I forgot to mention him.
Yeah, you know, it's funny that the play up the left sideline where he kind of broke away. Him and Warner, and I just got on Warner for what he just said. Okay, I'm an ass, right? But Warner and him and maybe Bosa are like the only 3 people on this team that I feel like give consistent effort every single freaking game from starting to finish every game. Everybody else, it's kind of like hit or miss. You know, some guys have good games and they have a bad quarter and it undoes everything. You know, Malik Mustafa with, you know, he got run over. He's killing himself for that, but he played a really good game against the Chiefs. You watch Warner and he just gives everything he can on every play. Same with Bosa. Unless the only thing I ask for Bosa is you stop falling down. You can't get sacks on your ass. Get up, turn the corner, tackle the quarterback. Like I don't understand this falling down.
Sometimes it's like he'll get like out of 4 plays, Bosa will get 3 pressures and make one out of one of those plays, make one really big play, and then the 4th play that he just totally gets pancaked. It's like, but Bosa's actually playing a lot more snaps than we're usually used to seeing him play. Actually, I do kind of wish, just for a simple fact, that I do kind of wish we had somebody else that was nicer in the rotation just to give Bosa some rest, because I think Bosa could do a lot more damage if he just got a little more rest on the sidelines. I think it just seems like we're using him a little too much. Hopefully, when Yetur Gross-Matos comes back, hopefully
I was just going to bring him up. Okay, so we've already kind of eliminated receiver being a move that they make at the deadline. There's a vibe that they might not make any moves and that everything they need is in the building. If they made one move, there's a pass rusher out there. I forget his name. He used to play for the Vikings. I think it's Zadarius Smith. Kind of a veteran guy. I feel like you wouldn't be able to give too much up for. And he feels like a good fit for a team that, you know, you're not going to spend a lot of money to move him. I don't think you're going to get you're not going to have to use a massively high draft pick. He's not going to command a ton of money, and you know, he's just a consistent good pass rusher in the NFL. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I'd love to get him. I didn't know he was available. Actually, I was curious. I haven't followed him in a long time. I do remember him on the Vikings.
I think it's Zadarius Smith. Somebody in the comments, if you have the right
he's
name.
Currently on the Browns now. The guy you're talking about. So I'm not sure if I didn't hear about him looking to be moved or them looking to move him, but you never know. It could happen. So I wish I could talk more about that. I just didn't hear about the 49ers trying to get him. But
no, they're not. It's a name that's been bandied about by different people.
I did want to talk about Kittle a little bit.
Go ahead. Go. We can back.
So that whole thing with the National Tight End Day finally came to fruition, where it led to Kittle having a big time game. Right. Finally,
I was so in a bad mood about
that. I'm glad he had a big time game, because it obviously helped us win. And then the broadcast team set up those wrestling belts. So I just thought it would look really stupid if we lost.
That wrestling belt sucked. That thing was ugly.
I don't know how much they spent for that, but you know, had Ferguson, the Cowboys gotten the award and they won, I'd been like, oh, that kind of sucks, because Kittle's the guy who came up with the National Tight End Day, as dumb as it sounds. And around the league, all the tight ends were balling out and having great games. And, you know, Kittle's the last guy to play, so he better show up. So 6 catches, 128 yards, 21.3 yards per catch, one TD. He's doing nice in the blocking game as well. And we finally got to see like a big run after the catch type Kittle play that we've been used to seeing over the years.
Yes.
And not only that, he eclipsed 500 receptions. So he's up there like in top company with the 49er greats.
Damn Jerry Rice. He's like,
yeah. So T.O., he's up there with T.O., Jerry Rice, Roger Craig. Not out of all the tight ends, he has the most receptions in Niner history. So you can make the argument
he's the best Niners tight end that's ever been on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Brent. I was a big Brent Jones guy. I was big
Vernon Davis.
I was okay with Vernon Davis. He was hit and miss with me. Him and Delaney Walker had stone hands at times. That really pissed me off. No, I was so over the National Tight End Day. I'm like, I don't give a just win the game. Who cares? Why are we talking about this? I was telling myself, like, can we get rid of this thing after this year? Can we just be done with it? Nobody cares.
I'm surprised they still do it. I'm surprised they still do it.
Who does it benefit? Who does it
I don't
benefit?
know. It doesn't make any sense because there's no
suck ass tight end that all of a sudden becomes good.
Yeah.
It's like Laporta, Kelsey, Kittle, and a smattering of other guys that we don't really talk about, and that's it. You're not seeing some guy come into the league, drafted in the 7th round, and all of a sudden he goes to tight end U and becomes this great tight end. Like nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up tight end university. I don't know why they do. I don't like. Okay, I don't like this. This is what I don't like.
Fraternizing with other players.
Oh, you read my mind. I don't like it that how Kittle
so irritated.
I feel like Kittle sucks up to Kelsey or vice versa. Like I don't want Kittle. This guy's your enemy. We haven't beat those guys ever. Make him your enemy. If we play them in the Super Bowl, somehow God works His wonders and wants us in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs again. Do not buddy up with Kittle at any press conferences or whatever.
I like a wrestling promo. Like get into a fight.
Yeah.
Turn heel.
He's a big wrestling guy, right? He's the big wrestling guy.
Turn heel. Be a bad guy. Go in for a hug and then give him the stunner. And then all of a sudden we're talking about how Kittle showed his true colors and this and that would be perfect, right? And then you could take it a couple years from now and you could make it a WrestleMania.
You're the wrestling guy, though. I thought you would have been a fan of those belts that they gave out to Purdy and Guerrero as well.
They're super cheap. I saw way better ones. There is ones online that you can get for your team.
Those are the expensive ones. They're the really heavy ones.
It's a national syndicate broadcasting. Like what is it? NBC? You can't afford something more than a $50 belt? Are you kidding me? The little belt, that little.
Do you have one of those big heavy ones?
No, I don't have any. I don't have any money. If I had money, I'd buy myself a championship belt. I'm telling you right now.
There are legit ones you can buy that are like the old school heavy ones. Yeah.
It would say 49ers first takes. What was the old nickname that I used to give myself? Mid-card streamer.
There you go.
At this point, I'm a curtain jerker. I'm not even a mid-carder anymore. So
you're a jobber?
I'm a jobber. Yeah,
we're getting into wrestling jargon.
I'm Brooklyn Brawler. I'm the guy that fights all the big time guys when they first come into wrestling to make them look really good. They call you enhancement talent. Yeah, that's me. Yeah. I stream with better streamers so that they look better because I suck so bad. Yeah, I'm the Brooklyn Brawler of streamers. Oh God.
I bet you half of the people left because we're talking wrestling.
Nobody knows what we're talking about. I'm so sorry. I'm a wrestling guy. Okay. What's up, Aaron and Bash? What's up, David McNiner?
I see Peter Parker too up in here.
You are the only person from my previous Monday night show that comes in here. And I just want to say thank you for that. I don't see anybody else. It means a lot. Hey, there you go. Those belts do look. It was super cheap. It looked horrible. Like the little piece that was attached, like the little what do they call? I forget what they call it.
I want to see what they look like again now. I want to see these.
There is a one that is about $400. It's either between $300 to $500, and it's a 49er one. It looks amazing.
I know a lot of people got mad at Bosa for making his way and barging in on that ceremony.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into politics, but
I don't want to either. But
what is it? Like whatever you're. What does it matter who you're voting for? What does it have to do with anything?
People put too much stock into it.
I understand why people are mad because he shouldn't have interjected it and then he wouldn't talk about it. That I understand. I thought that was kind of a bitch move. Okay.
Well, you know what's funny though? When I saw it live, I couldn't even tell what kind of hat he was wearing.
Did it on purpose.
And then when I saw the pictures, when I saw the pictures, they blurred it on purpose. Oh, okay. Because I saw the pictures, I was like, what? This doesn't even look like a hat. I can't even read it. Like, so they blurred it. That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's
I don't know. I think people need to get out of their feelings when it comes to that.
I think people need to get out of their own house and go touch grass with all this stuff. Just enough. Bosa does some stupid crap like that, and then he says, "I don't want to make a big deal about it." Yeah, it's to me it was a pretty lame move, regardless of whose side what side you are in politics. I don't care. I'm not here to discuss that. I'm just saying I thought it was pretty stupid on his part to do that and then not want to talk about it. Why do you do it? And it's an important day. He said something like that, but then I don't want to talk about it. Well, why'd you do it? I don't know.
I was trying to show a picture of that. Trying to share a picture of that National Tight End Day belt since you said it looks so cheap. But
It is so cheap looking,
all the pictures. Oh, hang on. I think I finally got a clear picture of it now. I can share it to the screen.
They need to retire that thing this year.
I'm gonna share it to the screen really quick. It's a close up of the belt. Just thought it was kind of funny. Where is it?
It looks like Dookie. Mm-hmm.
Just a second, I'm gonna share it really quick. Yeah, that was pretty weird how they blurred out the hat. I was like, I couldn't tell what I was looking at. I was like, what am I looking at? What's everybody?
It was a MAGA hat. This is making America great again.
It was just a different version of it because it was like white, right? White.
Oh, why do it though? Why?
Yeah, here we go. So that's the belt that you weren't a fan of. I didn't think it looked that bad though.
That looks like crap.
It really does. Because plastic.
It's super plastic. And it's probably not even leather. It's like cardboard mixed with like a leather.
But like the good thing is though, if you notice, if you look in the middle, it's red, right? So it kind of tells you they wanted the 49ers to win it.
I don't know. That looks really sucky.
Really? I didn't think it was that bad.
It's okay.
All right.
But why have it if Kittle's not going to be the guy? Like they should have thrown in one of those giant dumpsters that they got on the sideline that people sometimes take a piss in during games because they can't get to the bathroom. Just toss it in there. That's so dumb. Who cares? Who cares?
Well, they're gonna keep on having National Tight End Day now because Kittle actually had a good game for a change and it helped us win.
I love Kittle to death, but when he retires, please take that stupid holiday with you. Nobody cares. And it just it reminds me more why we should have drafted Laporta. And we could have had two really good tight ends. That would have been he's really.
I mean,
good.
I don't want to be that greedy and act like we should have drafted him because he was a high draft pick, but draft somebody who's a good player that will complement Kittle. Yeah. We've yet to show that we can do that. This guy's so bare. I mentioned that big touchdown earlier that I wish would have been a TD. And so Bear messed that one up on a hold or whatever. I don't know. It's kind of ticky tacky, but still. So Bear doesn't cut it for me. He's a third string tight end. He can kind of block, and that's about it. He's not somebody we count on. If Kittle,
it's amazing how precipitous the drop off is from Kittle to the backup. It's not even they're not even in the same stratosphere as far as like skill or whatever. Anything else you want to talk about before we blow this popsicle stand?
Nothing on my mind. I'm gonna be going live tomorrow. I just don't have the time set, but
okay,
we're gonna be streaming tomorrow, so it should be fun.
49er Minded is the YouTube channel. It's in my bio. It's tagged up in there in the description. So if you guys want to figure out who his channel is, most of you already know, but it's 49er Minded. It's the same as his @ on the screen. People hate him because of the hat. Some people even call him a piece of ass, racist, etc. Did they forget the same piece of ass donated $10 million to hurricane relief? No. They tend to forget about things like that. Dude, you're not going to win. He's not going to win. I don't agree or disagree on political affiliation. You can like whoever you want, but it was just a stupid move. It was a stupid move for the fact that he's already got heat for being a known Trump guy and for the stuff that he said about Kaepernick years ago. So and I saw that tweet recycle on my Twitter feed legitimately right after it happened. It was
really? See, I was barely on Twitter after the game, or even yesterday, today and yesterday. I was barely even honest. I didn't see any of that.
He said it. Mike, I agree. I agree, but I don't want to. That's the whole. Yes, probably. The nation probably wouldn't have mattered. Then you're right, but it just why do it? Why do it? You're not going to win. I understand it's freedom of speech. I get that. I didn't care, but the Niners got enough problems right now, winning games against good teams and not blowing leads. So, yeah, keep
Let me
politics
ask
out
you
of
this.
sports.
Let me ask you this. When you were watching the game, now, because I live obviously I live not too far from the Bay Area. Were they showing that Brock Purdy Toyota commercial out where you live? Even though it's a national broadcast, but
The car commercial?
yeah, he's on this new Toyota. He was on a previous Toyota commercial.
He was also wasn't he on a commercial for something else too?
He was on an Applebee's commercial.
Okay. Yeah.
He was on a Boots commercial for the company name I forgot. He was also on on Alaska Airlines commercial, I believe. I know he did some stuff for Alaska Airlines.
See.
Yeah, the Toyota commercial though, the second one's is a bit nicer than the first one. The first one was okay, wasn't bad, but I'm glad Brock's getting his money at the end of the day. I just I think eventually he'll turn around and get back to where he's putting up dominant type numbers and looking a bit more decisive. And
things have been weird this year. It isn't just Brock who's been playing poorly. The defense has been.
Well, there were a lot of drop passes earlier this season too. I mean,
the defense has been just really bad this year. They're giving up a ton of points. I don't care what their statistical categories say. They make big time mistakes and big time moments. That's why I said I want to hear Fred Warner talk about it. Go to my Twitter. I told him the STFU, just go and fix it. Mike Henry said on another note, sad for the passing of Charvarius Ward's daughter. Damn. Yeah.
We touched on that at the beginning of the stream.
We touched on that at the beginning of the show. Like I said, there's a lot of other things going on that are way more important. And he said you were right. He shouldn't have done it. The outrage is ridiculous. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Like I think politics and religion are the two things you don't want to mix into sports. People go to sports to escape politics, to escape whatever that's going on in the world. And then for people to kind of shoehorn it in there, but then not want to talk about it, it was kind of, you know what I mean? So yeah, real sad. Charvarius Ward's daughter. I didn't hear anything about a pre-existing condition. I kind of caught something on that on TikTok, on Twitter, but I haven't heard anything for sure to say that. I thought it was just like a sudden passing. I had no idea. So, but Caitlin Clark on SNL.
She was they had her do a bit on she was impersonating what's her name, Kamala. Yeah.
Oh jeez.
I think so. Oh no.
That's going to endear her. My bad.
I got the names confused. Caitlin Clark's a basketball player, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that she's going to be on SNL.
I was going to say that's going to endear to a lot of people doing a Kamala imitation.
She's Caitlin Clark's a great unless they imitated Caitlin Clark. I think they imitated her. I don't know. I haven't watched SNL in a long time. I used to be so loyal to SNL and whatever, and I just ever since Chris Farley and Adam Sandler left at SNL, I feel like SNL went down.
They're bringing Dana Carvey back on there to do Biden bits. That's how you know that? Yeah, people.
I didn't know that. Yeah,
he was doing a perfect imitation. Peter Parker, you said it best, and he said, arguing about a hat. Another guy just lost his daughter. I can't even imagine that. I have two baby girls to start breaking. I don't have any kids, bro. Yeah. I have two nieces, and I would be not wanting to live if something happened to either of them.
Oh yeah,
so 100% agree with you on that. Hopefully this election will be, I was going to say the election will be over soon, but then of course people are going to be talking about it one way or the other. So it's never going to go away. I mean, it's 4 years later and they're still talking about Trump at the 6 o'clock news. And like, what are we doing? Can we talk about others? Yeah.
Okay. So Caitlin Clark did make a surprise appearance on SNL when they do the news bit on the Weekend Update. I don't know if she was funny, but it sounds like
she's really good. She's a really good basketball player.
She's an excellent basketball player. I had no idea she had any comedy in her. I would never known. But
somebody said she looks like Christopher Maloney, the actor.
She's not exactly
pretty.
I mean, yeah, she's not exactly the kind of girl that guys like drool over.
It's weird. I can't explain it. I'm not going to say anything.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to keep it. I got to go.
All right, Aaron's got a secret.
I don't find her attractive, but I could kind of see why people might. If that makes any sense. Everybody's got a type. She's definitely not mine, but.
Well, you were kind of hinting that it was, though. You said you didn't want to say it, or
no, because it'll come off weird regardless if I say something. So people might decipher it differently. So, Hey, everyone. We will talk to you next week. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a bi-week show.
I don't know.
Not sure.
Yeah, bi-week show. We'll see. We'll see.
Maybe we'll just relax. Maybe I'll just do one show. Who knows? Bashar will see you tomorrow. Check his community tab, I would assume, and his Twitter to find out times and who he's having on. I will see you tomorrow with Raj from RSF 49ers, and hopefully, if all goes well, Thursday with Al from 49ers Plus Podcast. Everybody have a great rest of your evening. Small Town Reviews, thanks for coming through. I always try to pop into your streams anytime you're on. This guy, if you want some reviews on, like, some, I call it extracurricular
Movie
substances.
reviews, or are we doing movie reviews?
He does more. No, he does like reviews for like sometimes like some liquor or drinks or whatever.
Oh, okay. You don't even drink, man. That doesn't make sense.
I just find it entertaining. I find it entertaining. I don't know why.
I have to check this out. I gotta see. Maybe he's just good at. Maybe just fun to watch in general.
And I knew I was going to get her attention. Caitlin Clark. She's the basketball player. Trust me. No, you're good. I ran my mouth.
You in trouble?
You got me in trouble. She's not. No, Caitlin Clark. Nope, I'm good. Thank you. We're gonna get out of here. I gotta go explain myself now. Thanks for everybody for making my life. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Go Niners, everybody. We'll talk to you later.